In this video, I am going to discuss about the treatment of Alzheimer disease. As we know that I already discussed in the last video, that is Alzheimer disease is a neurological degenerative disorder. Here also uh, neurons are getting damaged, and I already discussed about what is the pathophysiology of amyloid precursor protein and tau proteins. So I'm not going to discuss again it is. Finally, I want to conclude that the Alzheimer's disease is because of the neurodegenerative, because of the neurons are getting damaged, and the neurons which are releasing the neurotransmitters acetylcholine. Because of this acetylcholine neurotransmitter, acetylcholine is concentration is decreased in this Alzheimer's disease. So for the treatment of this Alzheimer's disease, we need to supply and we need to provide this acetylcholine externally. So externally, in spite of this, one more process is also there, and we know that is acetylcholine in our body is breakdown by this acetylcholine esterase enzyme. So by inhibiting this acetylcholine esterase enzyme, we can increase the acetylcholine concentration in the neurons. So the first target in the treatment of this Alzheimer's disease is cholinergic activators. In that, if we recycle once again in the pharmacological practical, what we are doing, we are taking the responses of acetylcholine neurotransmitter by using the rectus abdominis muscle. In this rectus abdominis muscle, what we are doing, we are taking the response of acetylcholine. For example, if a 1 or 10 microgram of acetylcholine gives this type of response, by using the same dose, if you want to increase the response of the same dose acetylcholine, we need to add this physostigmine or neostigmine. And here in this cholinergic activator, we are using the one of the derivative of this physostigmine, that is what the name is what? Rivastigmine. This rivastigmine is inhibits both acetylcholine esterase and butyrylcholine esterase. Butyrylcholine esterase is also there. So that is actually this butyrylcholine esterase inhibiting the butyrylcholine, whereas acetylcholine esterase inhibiting the acetylcholine. This acetylcholine is naturally synthesized in our body, whereas this butyrylcholine esterase enzyme is synthesized in the liver, and this butyrylcholine is synthetic product, is a synthetic mimic action of this acetylcholine. So wherever to fulfill the deficiency of acetylcholine, we are using this butyrylcholine. So when this butyrylcholine is administered in our body, immediately this butyrylcholine esterase enzyme is released from the liver for inhibiting this butyrylcholine. So this rivastigmine drug is inhibiting both this acetylcholine esterase and butyrylcholine esterase. So if you want to supplement, if you want to increase acetylcholine neurotransmitter concentration by administering this synthetic acetylcholine, that is what butyrylcholine. So by using this rivastigmine, we can increase the acetylcholine concentration in the neurons of the brain. So this is the one of the point. By using this acetylcholine neurotransmitter, by using this rivastigmine, in the clinical trials, it improved the Alzheimer's disease. There is a very good improvement has been observed in the Alzheimer's disease. So this is the one best example in case of the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. That is what rivastigmine. And the next drug is what? Donepezil. Donepezil. In this donepezil, the importance of this donepezil is this is also a acetylcholinesterase enzyme inhibitor only. Acetylcholinesterase enzyme inhibitor only, but here the importance of this donepezil is it is increasing the acetylcholine level, particularly by inhibiting this acetylcholinesterase enzyme, where in the parts of the brain, especially cortex and cerebral cortex, hippocampus, and we already discussed about what is the importance of this hippocampus in the Alzheimer's disease. So this donepezil is main because of this specifically it is increasing the acetylcholine concentration in these areas, that is what cortex and hippocampus, and we know the importance of this cortex and hippocampus areas in the Alzheimer's disease. And the next drug is what? Galantamine. This galantamine is also a acetylcholine esterase inhibitor, but main selectively it is showing its activity in the cerebral part of the brain, and mainly at the direct agonistic action on nicotinic receptors as well. It is showing its action. And the galantamine has produced a cognitive behavior. That is what is cognitive action? Cognitive behavior, that is what intelligence or intellectuality and the learning process and memory, all these effects are called as, we can say, that is what cognitive behavior. So by using this galantamine we can also improve this cognitive behavior also. And the next drug is what? NMDA antagonist. Example, memantine. Here one thing you remember, actually NMDA is a glutaminergic neuron receptors. Actually, in our brain, this glutamic excitatory neurons are excited for memory, for the, that is what, as we discussed, that is what cognitive behavior. For the cognitive behavior, these glutaminergic neurons are excited. So when it is excited, they are releasing its glutamic neurotransmitter, that which is going to be bind on the postsynaptic. Here two receptors are there, that is what NMDA receptor and one more, that AMPA receptor. And when this glutamate which is bind on this NMDA receptor, it is causing the excitation of this neurotransmission. So because of this, whatever it helps in the cognitive behavior. But here the problem is, if the glutamic action is over, it is find out that in the Alzheimer's disease, if this glutaminergic action is over glutaminergic action is also called as glutaminergic excitotoxicity. Excitotoxicity. So this glutaminergic excitotoxicity is also leads to this Alzheimer's disease, it is found. So that's why to treating this extra excitement which is causing the toxicity, so in these cases we are adding this NMDA antagonist, that is what memantine. So this memantine is particularly blocking this NMDA receptor, which are the glutaminergic receptor. So by blocking this NMDA receptor, we can decrease the excitement of this glutaminergic neuron, which are, it is found that cause of the Alzheimer's disease. So that is what the one drug. Next is what? Here I am writing, that is what pyraceta. Piracetam. This piracetam is come under the miscellaneous drugs of the Alzheimer's disease. Miscellaneous drugs for the Alzheimer's disease, that is what piracetam. This piracetam is showing its action by blocking the AMPA receptor. As I told, that is what here also the reason is same, that is over to inhibiting the over excitement of this glutaminergic neuron. Here this memantine is blocking, showing its action by blocking the NMDA receptor, and here this piracetam is blocking the AMPA receptor. That is what, whatever the glutamate is released from the presynaptic neuron, that glutamate is blocking both the, that is what, NMDA receptor and AMPA receptor. So through this NMDA receptor and AMPA receptor, calcium influx is occur. So that's why to blocking by blocking these two receptors, the over excitement is inhibited. So by blocking this over excitement, we can treat this Alzheimer's disease. So like this, many are there. That is what pyretinol. This pyretinol is also used as a supplement to increase the glucose transportation. It is so means it is showing its action on the Alzheimer's disease by increasing the glucose transportation, means it is increasing the acetylcholine, whatever the supplements are needed for the synthesis of acetylcholine. So by providing these all glucose transmission or glucose transporting mechanism, by increasing the glucose transporting mechanism, here it is indirectly helpful in the synthesis of acetylcholine. So there is no direct role is not there in treatment of this Alzheimer's disease. And the next one is dihydroergotoxin. Here also it is showing the same action. And this one is next one is that pyribydyl and citicoline. All these drugs are, so they are increasing the blood supplying, being by, they are actually vasodilators. They are, so in this vasodilation, they are increasing the blood supply to the brain. By increasing the blood supply, they are showing so there is a chances of more acetylcholine will be more acetylcholine will be synthesized. So that is what pyribydyl and citicoline. So these are what we can say, these are the two drugs are vasodilators. So by supplying the by supplying more amount of blood in a short period of time, so here indirectly they are promoting the more acetylcholine synthesis. So by these drugs we can treat the Alzheimer's disease. Hope you understood. So is there any doubts? You can please comment. Thank you.